All right, so in this video, I'm going to basically be introducing something, but I'm also going to talk about a couple of things because one of the passions that I've had is basically always being able to get to know the body, you know what I'm saying, in every way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I'm very grateful for is being able to have worked in the supplement industry for so many years and basically just, you know, having the experience to have known what it feels like to be in the supplement industry, to be in the bodybuilding industry, and to have taken so many supplements and, you know what I'm saying, push my body to limits, be, you know, extremely active, you know, doing sports, just basically learning the art of recovery and how important it is. And, you know, going through the big pitfalls, certain side effects that you may experience based on certain things you've gotten into, all in the interest of fitting in. You know what I'm saying? The fitness industry is painted a certain way, but there's a lot more to it. You know what I'm saying? The same way, not just the fitness industry, but just basically health in and of itself has been painted a certain way, and we think that we need to do certain things a certain way. And then, you know, your body is always going to be kind of speaking to you, but in a very low tone, like in whispers, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But in this chaotic realm that we're in, we really have to set some time to sit with ourselves. This is basically why I always talk about, you know, if we sit with ourselves, we get to know ourselves better. It's just like if you're getting in a relationship with somebody, the more time you spend with them, the more you get to know them, the goods and bads about it. Like, not a lot of people really look at the points where they sit down with themselves to just basically get to know their body. Just basically, you know, put your awareness to certain areas and where your body is basically nudging. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain times where I'll basically stay as still as possible, and then I'll feel certain pulsations or certain sensations in certain areas of my body, and I'll just basically focus on that area, try to move the energy around, you know what I'm saying, and just basically let whatever color comes to you, put a color to it. There's a frequency to that, you know what I'm saying? And I've noticed that, you know, being in the supplement industry, there's a lot of people who you know, need help, basically either losing weight or just basically knowing how to feel better. And I've always been the type that has done it through supplementation, and I've guided people through supplementation, which is, you know, they'll feel better, but it's also a short gain, you know what I'm saying? And once you start to really know things from a deeper level, you kind of see the point at where you're at, and you know where you have to transition. So I'll give you an example. I'm at GNC, and there's a few people who, you know, there's people who will pay whatever to get a certain type of result. Kind of like you'll see people in Hollywood and California, and in order for them to look better, they'll pay whatever just to accomplish that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've been a salesman my entire life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, there's moments where I'm like, I can make so much money off this person, but then it's like you start to do it in a, you know, things happen where it's not the same, you know what I'm saying? There's certain people who come in with problems where they can't go to the bathroom, they have skin issues, they, you know, they have a hard time losing weight, their energy is all shot, you know what I'm saying? You can see the bags under their eyes, they have a plethora of problems. And I can basically suggest a supplement for all those needs, but in actuality, deep in me, I know that that's not the right way to do it, or the favorable way for that person. See, I can make money off that person by just selling them the supplements that's going to pretty much put a band-aid on a bullet wound, but it's basically the same thing that the pharmaceutical industry is doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't really heal you or get to the root cause of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody comes into GNC telling me that they have a B12 deficiency, you know what I'm saying? This B12 deficiency is not about me telling them, hey, you need to take this amount of B12 and here's the right kind of B12. It's not about that. It's about why you're not even, you know, using it in the body to begin with. You don't even need the exaggerated amounts that they're selling in a supplement bottle. You know what I'm saying? You just need a very small amount, and your body can actually function with that. It's just like everything else. It doesn't matter what it is. All these vitamins and minerals, these multivitamins, you know, people say you pee them out, and you absolutely do, because, you know, if you really knew the key to these micronutrients is basically coming down to just the same way I look at the body, like, you know, the soil, it's all about bacteria, it's all about microbes, and it's all about how this ecosystem basically works in a cycle within you. You know what I'm saying? one basically breaking down something else for something else to make it more bioavailable for something smaller. You get what I'm saying? So you basically working on it on a cellular level, like a monoatomic form. You know what I mean? And all this is possible if your body is functioning properly. You know what I'm saying? Now, health is not about, you see, there's people who have certain issues and whatnot. And when I get to that point, I know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to do it because I've learned how to properly tune into somebody, you know, to somebody and what they're saying to me, like being really present with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people who will say, you know, they have certain issues. And if I'm properly tuning into their frequency, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people who say they're empaths, but everybody's an empath. And some people are not aware of it, but everybody has this ability. And if you're really using this ability, you can pretty much know how to help that other person. And in turn, you're helping yourself because these people are still showing you something. It's like a really nice reciprocity going on there naturally. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing it from a pure heart space where you're not interested in the profit of it, but you know that, for example, there's times where if I'm helping people, I'm so passionate, I get so into it, I get goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? And there's a spiritual meaning to these goosebumps. My spirit is happy. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm doing something like that, the person is paying attention to me. And the more I feel these goosebumps, it's kind of like I'm lighting myself up. It's like a light. And you're showing this person something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about you teaching them anything. You're always showing them something. It's like if you want to learn how to, you know, work on a car. Somebody's not going to tell you, let me teach you how to work on this car. It's like, yo, let me show you how this works. You know what I'm saying? And then you let them rock on their own. You know what I'm saying? It's a hands-on experience. But whenever somebody is having an interaction with you, it should always feel like an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you're having an actual experience with that person. You know what I'm saying? And that's the experience. You get goosebumps. You start to feel the energy. You feel that person's energy. And you can properly diagnose this person by listening to them, being present with them, and basically, this is how you tap in. You tune into the person's frequency to get to know where they're coming from. No judgment, but you get to diagnose it. And a lot of the times, believe it or not, your vibrational match to this person even coming into your life to some extent is basically showing you something, and it's aiding you in something that you didn't realize until the person actually pointed out certain things about themselves that they're looking for helping. You know what I'm saying? And if you have the proper tools to help that person, then that's the beauty of the give and exchange. You know what I'm saying? And in this realm, for example, of course, we need the physical manifestation of energy like money in order for us to sustain ourselves here. So we'll look at it like this. Because I don't have this lack mentality. And the reason I realize I don't have this lack mentality is because I'm not in the position where, see, when I am doing something, I'm doing it from that space. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing it from a space of where I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like in my heart, I know what I'm talking about. And, you know, that energy, for example, that I gain spiritually will trickle down into this reality, into the physical manifestation of what I would consider abundance in some way, shape, or form. But it's going to be as to what I believe true abundance is. You could tune this up for you to work in your favor. If you want it to work for money, you want it to work in any different areas that you want it to, you can, as long as you program it like that. And then it has to come down to you believe in what you just did. This is you doing the work on yourself to basically know if you deserve something or if what you consider true abundance. Because see, everybody will tell you money is you know, cash is king and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you can build yourself spiritually and you can do the work within you and be able to help others, because you are in that space, you will be in a deserving state where you know what you deserve and you know what you're worth. You know what I'm saying? And others will recognize that and let you know that. And that's what they're showing you. And this is why I'm you know, I'm in a position right now where what I'm doing is not fulfilling me anymore as far as what I'm doing to make money in this physical realm. You know what I'm saying? I know that there are certain people that are presenting themselves to me for a reason, and they're presenting themselves to me to be able to, they're showing me that I can do this. You know what I'm saying? That I can make the change and sustain myself here doing something that I absolutely love to do, and that is helping people. You know what I'm saying? Based on what I know. You get what I'm saying? And I do the work, as much of the work possible, to be able to have the tools to help people. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel good when I do it. I notice I feel good when I do this. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel after you do certain things? Like, there's certain times where the company requires you to sell a certain amount of things. And in my mind, I'm like, this is not even going to be good for this person. And then after I sell it, I feel like a dirtbag, all in the interest of me meeting a quota and, you know what I'm saying, making a commission. That's not what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? And I was like that at one point, which is why I had so much money at one point. But it all came crashing down. And this is the thing. Nothing really lasts. It's not sustainable when you're in that space. I want something that's going to last forever. See, in this physical realm, things deteriorate, things wear out, things fall apart. You know what I'm saying? But when you do, this is why I say, even like from a health standpoint of view, you know what I'm saying? There's people who I've met that have gotten their gallbladder removed. They've gotten their thyroid removed. They've gotten certain things about them removed that if they knew any better, it would have been possible if, and it's all reversible because there's a cure to everything. You just have to know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is that it's not for you to feel bad in the now moment about that happening and you say, fuck, I should have never made that decision to get my thyroid removed or my gallbladder removed or et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this. There's people who, everybody has a heart, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise you'd be dead, but nobody even uses that heart space anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you might as well just take that part out and just be dead. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really knows how to use that organ anyway. Like the thyroid, we speak about the communication part. You know what I'm saying? We got the gallbladder. That's basically down, you know, in your, next to your solar plexus, or, you know what I'm saying? Like all these organs actually emit a frequency. And the real way that you can maintain this body healthy is not really even needing anything, to tell you the truth, outside of you, except for how you're breathing. But basically, when you can build your astral body or your star body or your etheric body, whatever you want to call it, see, before you go to bed, you build this body. You know what I'm saying? And let's say if you're missing your thyroid gland, picture this body with the most magnificent, most powerful thyroid gland. And this is the beauty part about the meditation, because see, the meditation in and of itself is not going to make you any more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? The meditation doesn't make you spiritual. Like people think they're going to be more spiritual by meditating, by eating alkaline foods, or, you know what I'm saying, getting off a meat diet. That's not how you become more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You can basically build it. Like when you die or when you pass by, this body is only temporary. It's your passport. You're using it here temporary, and passports expire here. Your passport here will expire, and when you pass by and you pass away and they go to your wake, you know what I'm saying? You leave this body behind. The only thing that's really going to matter is the body you built for yourself in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? Your etheric body, your star body, and that body, whatever deficiencies you may have had here, you can, and you do this while you're alive actually, and this is how you feed it. And you can only do this here while you're alive in this realm. You know what I'm saying? Or you're in this waking, dreamlike state. Is basically energizing it, feeding this body and having it work for you, so that if you're missing a thyroid or you're missing a gallbladder, whatever it may be, you build this etheric body and you can make it look however you want. It doesn't have to be in a human form. It could be anything. See, mine looks crazy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But whatever deficiencies you have, you strengthen it there, and eventually that trickles down into this reality to make it stronger and more effective for you here. So even if you don't have a thyroid and you think that that's where your chakra for your, you're vocalizing or you speak up for yourself, you see, let me tell you something. Just the fact that you did it from a thought form first, it trickles down into this reality, and it's going to work for you here because you started it off as a thought. Everything starts as a thought anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to be healthier and start things off from this physical realm, and you're looking for something else physical to make this physicality, healthier. And it's not like that. You can actually start that off from your thought. You could use frequencies, and with your imagination, and the beauty part about the meditation is you strengthen your focus muscles. The same way when you go to the gym and you're working out, you strengthen your muscles, you strengthening your focus muscle. You know what I'm saying? Because you notice how when you meditate, you have all these thoughts that bombard in you, but that's also an indicator as to how much you have within you in your stomach, because your stomach is connected to your brain. You know what I'm saying? That's your other gut. That's your other brain. Your gut is your brain. You know what I'm saying? And your heart also. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a light heart, or you're doing things from a heart space, or you don't have so much attachments, then you can also think from that space a lot better too. You know what I'm saying? And when you go into that meditation, it's the focus muscle is going to come down to, if these thoughts come in, you don't suppress them. You basically just swipe them to the side or push them out any way you want, but you know what I'm saying? Like an app, like you're moving apps out of the way. And eventually you go into that 0 point. You go into that no thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you are. That's you. You're no thing. And that's why you have the capability and capacity and probability to be everything. And then when you know what you are, you can basically do what you want here in this physical realm. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's all going to start from, again, you have your eyes open, okay? And then when you close your eyes, you do this. You know what I'm saying? That inner eye opens. You have your secret identity here. You're like the superhero. You're like Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? And then when you close your eyes, that's where you're really Superman. Because you ain't physically flying here, but you'll do it when you can close your eyes and imagine it. You know what I'm saying? And like I mentioned in my previous videos, when I used to go to bed, I used to see myself playing hockey and winning the championship, scoring these 3 goals in a row. I had the crowd, the players all, cheering me on. And I got these goosebumps as I was in that state, because that's what I was doing back then. I was in the hockey leagues and I was an awesome player, but just that alone didn't just make me a better player, or it just trickled down into everything I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a certain space. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it is good to be consciously aware of the space that you're in, so you know what you're attracting into your life. Because sometimes we may be attracting certain people into our life. Like we say, our vibe attracts our tribe. You know what I'm saying? But instead of, see, this is how judging pretty much fucks you up. Is because when you judge somebody, right? You ever hear the saying, only God can judge me, right? When you say only God can judge me, it's because you are God. So the moment you're judging somebody outside of you, you're judging yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's God judging. You're judging yourself. That's only God can judge me. You're judging me because that person's in your reality showing you something, because they're a version or an aspect, and they're reflecting something back to you. You know what I'm saying? But really, I mean, the key to really feeling good here is basically life force. You know what I'm saying? It's basically life force. See, a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying? You could just eat one apple and eat the apple, okay? And there's people drinking smoothies. But when you put your fruits in the smoothie machine, they're being turned by metal blades. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that you're actually changing the conductivity of that drink by doing that. Same thing, distilled water is very good, it's very popular, it's very cleansing, but there's no life force to that water. You know what I'm saying? So the moment you can consciously structure your water, okay, and I'll make a video as to how I structure water, it makes such a big difference. Why do you think, look, when you do water kefir, because I do water kefir, you can't stir these kefir grains with a metal spoon, because you'll actually kill them. You're supposed to use a wooden spoon. You know what I'm saying? And you can't even use chlorinated water. You would have to use distilled water. But there's already life force in there, which is the kefir grains. So when you're drinking kefir, right, water kefir, you're intaking life force. You're intaking them. You're feeding them the sugars. They eat all the sugars. They release the waste, and that's basically your probiotic inside your stomach, bioavailable for you to work in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with the garden. You know what I'm saying? We look at our chakra systems, which is basically our central nervous system. You know what I'm saying? But you always notice that we look down at the lower chakras. You know what I'm saying? And then we always want to be in the upper chakras, but we're always living up here. Look at what I mentioned in my previous videos about the trees. You know what I'm saying? Like the trees have the root system underneath. You know what I'm saying? But the roots can never be at the top. You know what I'm saying? They belong down there. And the tree, the top part of the tree can never be underground. It belongs there. You get what I'm saying? So you notice how the roots have a fungal network, which we all have, our fungal network basically in our stomachs as well. You know what I'm saying? But there's the good bacteria, and then there's also the bad bacteria. But you see, the ecosystem has to work that way, because the same way in the garden, you have to have bad bacteria there too. But when you feed, see, this mycelium network feeds the tree, all right, up the, through the bark, dark, you know what I'm saying? And it feeds the tree the nutrients it needs from underground. And it's actually a connection, a network where it can feed multiple trees. One tree can actually send nutrients to another tree that's actually weak. So it's all working in harmony underneath. You know what I'm saying? And then when it gets above ground, all those nutrients, now the sun hits the top of that tree. There's a vibration and frequency. All those are pheromones. And you know what I'm saying? You don't see all that. And this is how we connect. If we have a strong, stable foundation, which is a strong root system, then we can connect with healthy people in our reality. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at the lower chakras, we always see that up here, they say the favorable way for a human to be. And then underneath it shows, fear, anxiety, stress or whatnot, or however it may be. But that's all about, you see what I'm saying? Like that's if it's in balance. But when you balance it out, all right, and you transmute and transform these lower way out, because you could be up here and be as basic, you could be crazy also. If you are very spiritually enlightened and you're, you know what I'm saying? Like you're so enlightened, but you're not grounded and you don't have stable, strong roots. Those are the people who go crazy. Because you've heard of people who say, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? They had a spiritual awakening. They had a, ayahuasca or dimethyltryptamine trip. And then all of a sudden they turn crazy. But why? They had no stable roots, no stable, strong foundation. You know what I'm saying? So they became airheads. You know what I'm saying? Like the tree needs to be stable on the ground. But don't forget, the stronger the winds, okay, the more the tree will dig its roots underground and anchor itself to the soil a lot stronger. The stability becomes stronger. So sometimes the chaotic winds up above ground, which is air, the air element, and the air, you already know, people become airheads and whatnot, or this is where you basically get all this knowledge. But don't forget, that's chaos, and you have to make order out of that chaos. You know what I'm saying? And you take the nutrients, you feed it back down to that mycelium network based on the light. The sun is information, right? So the sun hits the tree, the nutrients get passed right back down to that mycelium network, because the mycelium network basically fed the tree from the bottom up. So it's a really beautiful symbiotic relationship working there. You know what I'm saying? But then don't forget, the same way our lower natures can be helpful, it can also be detrimental, because you see, if the tree ain't healthy, that mycelium network, you ever see in the woods, you see that the fungus starts growing in the middle of the tree. That means that those fungus that is actually flowering in the middle of the bark or of the trunk, that means that tree is dying. That means that mycelium network is not working with that tree anymore. Now it is being parasitical toward that tree. You get what I'm saying? So that's why the importance of health starts from, it starts from what you're doing within you. It starts from your mentality, your thoughts, your state of being. You know what I'm saying? And then you ground your energy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever energy you have, you ground it. You make sense of it. That's why you're here that's what the 5 physical senses are for. You make sense out of what you're receiving, because we're always channeling, but it is up to you to know and filter what it is that you're channeling. You get what I'm saying? Are you channeling corrupt, viral information, or are you know what I'm saying, channeling stuff that's gonna nourish you? You get what I'm saying? How do you feel after you have received that source of food for thought? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel? Are you feeling left hungry, like you always want no more, and you want to know so much that you don't even put time into sitting down with yourself to make sense of what it is that you know? You just want to keep constantly looking outside of yourself. See, if you feel like that, that means that whatever you're intaking, you're not processing it, you're not nourishing it, or you're not taking the time to digest it. You're actually doing equivalent to you eating and then running a marathon. You're going to have indigestion. Sometimes, see, we're in a linear timeline here. So things take time to process. So that's why sometimes you got to give your body time to digest food. You got to give your body time to process what it is that you know, and work on your energy to raise your frequency and vibration to be able to process what it is that you're listening to. And if you feel like you're not understanding the information, then that's an indicator too. Everything is showing you something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing basically videos, but I'm going to put up my Cash App. And I'm not charging anybody for consultations or anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it open to whatever donations you want to leave to me. Then you could do that, because you ever feel like sometimes people feel like they get overcharged for something. So whatever you hear from me, if you felt like whatever you got out of it, that's what I'm worth.